Hi everyone, Arlene here to show you another quick and easy card. They all tend to be quick and easy these days. They are coming out. Stampin' Up is coming out with their new holiday line starting September 1st, and I was able to purchase them starting yesterday. Demonstrators can purchase them yesterday or even earlier if you did attend the convention that they just had last month, which I did not. So I ordered way too much than I really should have. But in the meantime, I wanted to show you a card. This is a card that I needed to make for a friend of mine. She recently had a tragedy in her family, and I think of her often, and I wanted to just make a card for down the road, you know, let her know I'm thinking of her. So this starts out with the Whisper White cardstock. It's 8.5 by 11. I cut it lengthwise, so I cut it down lengthwise, so it's 4.5 inches wide by 11 inches tall. And then I scored it, cut it with paper trimmer, and scored it down the middle, folded it. So that's our card base right here. And then I'm taking some paper I'm going to be using from the Pretty Petals Designer Series paper pack. This is that 6 by 6 inch paper pack that I've used in the past. Double-sided, so it's nice. You can get lots of different patterns there. And what I've done is cut a strip that's 1.5 inches wide by 5.5. Yep, 5.5. And then this is a strip that's 5.5 inches long by 1/2 inch right here. And I'm just going to be putting those on the left side of the card like this. And then I'm taking a stamp from the set You've Got This, and using the Good Things Are Going to Happen right there. Take that and stamp that. This is a wood mounted stamp set. I've talked about this before, but this is what when I got into stamping, I used to be a demonstrator back in like 1995. That dates me, but this is all they had. We didn't have a choice, so I'm so used to these. I always like I'm used to the wood mounted, so I do like them, but I'm getting used to the acrylic. I do like that too. And I'm going to be using the Fast Fuse. I'm going to be embossing on the top of this paper, so I really want to make sure that I have good adhesion going on. So go on all sides, all 4 sides of the back of the paper with the Fast Fuse. Always make sure that you, as you're going down on this, you go down and then check it up there. Otherwise you'll get this big long string of glob glue, which is what I just did earlier. Put that on the side there. Okay, put that on. Again, take some of the Fast Fuse and make sure you get this ink, that adhesive on there nice and all the way on all sides there on the back. And then I'm going to make sure, I want to make sure that I really butt this up, this strip up against the black piece of paper. Try really not to leave any space in between those two. Looks like I got a little bit longer. I can always trim that off. Okay, and then I'm going to take the Memento black ink, and using the Good Things Are Going to Happen, I'm just going to stamp that on the bottom right hand side here. Oops. Alright, we've got that. Okay, and then this is the Whisper White craft ink. So it's meant for, you can emboss with this. And this stamp I'm going to be using from that Crazy About You stamp set, that little piece of the stem with the leaves right there. And that's just going to go, I'm going to be embossing directly onto the paper here on the left. Again, I wanted to keep it simple. I didn't want to put a lot of bling on this card. So there we go. But I want to make sure that I get enough ink on there so that my embossing powder will stick. Okay. Lift that up. And then I'm going to take some white embossing powder, and that's going to go just directly, pour that directly on top. I'm going to get a piece of scratch paper here underneath. So pour that embossing powder directly on top of where you just stamped your image. It doesn't matter, don't worry about putting too much on because you're going to just be tapping it off. Okay, so you see I've got a little bit of excess there, so just take a little dry paintbrush and brush that off. There, like that. And remember, it's a hand stamp card, so it doesn't, if it's not perfect, it's okay because you're making it, and that makes it unique. But you do want to try to, sometimes this embossing powder really sticks to things that are not meant to stick to. Okay. All right, put that in. Okay, next we're going to take the embossing tool. So this is an embossing heat gun. It gets loud, and it gets hot. So this is an older one. I think the tip nowadays does not stick out, so it's a little bit better safe-wise. Okay, you ready? Here it goes. It's loud. And as that heat, it will activate the embossing powder to basically kind of melt. And you're going to see it there. It'll just be right there, and you'll see how it melts, and it forms a solid image. And the reason that I was saying make sure you put enough adhesive on is it tends to kind of curl up, and I've made a card earlier for practice, and it really curled the paper up when I did not have the adhesive on there, the fast fuse. So make sure you get a nice coating of adhesive there. Okay, take a little bit of the Mint Macaron ink pad and ink up a sponge here, and I'm just going to go around the edges. The top one here, and then the sides. And I think I want to have the corners rounded, just the bottom too. So just take your corner rounder and round the two bottom corners here. Okay, then I'm going to finish up inking just the edges of this card. Just like that. Okay, again, I don't want to make it too blingy, but I do have a little bit of the Stampin' Up! Dazzling Details. And I'm just going to put that on the good things are going to happen, that letter, the I on the things, the dot of the I. But just a little bit. I'm not even sure if it will really show up that much when it dries, but it's just a little bit. You can also put a rhinestone on there, just a real small one. Okay, and that right there is my card, finished card. Again, it's quick and easy, something simple. Then you have enough room to write a little sentiment on the inside or stamp something as well if you wanted to. I did make another card similar to that. It was a side fold instead. And again, this is where I was telling you I didn't put enough of the adhesive on the back, and you see how it kind of lifted up there. So like I said, make sure you get all on the edges there to make sure that it stays nice and flat when you heat emboss it like that. Same type, same stamps I used a little different, same there, same pattern paper too, but two different looks. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.